Welcome to the bar breakdown of Johnny P's Caddy's KareFree remix. Video out right now. Throughout this breakdown, there will be moments where I'll pause and give more insight on maybe what inspired that verse or that bar. What inspired the verse was J.Cole, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so brief points in there. I'm gonna stop, tell the story, explain why I said what I said and all of that. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Yeah. People usually fear things they don't understand.
People usually fear things they don't understand. And me being a walking paradox is strange. I always call myself a walking paradox because I'm stuck in between being Keon and KareFree. And KareFree manifested himself because Keon got used too much and ran over and shit. That's how I felt. I don't know. That's how I felt. I don't know if it was true or not. So then the KareFree persona, but I just really think the KareFree persona was just maturity on how the world worked. But not quite sure how that happened. But that's why I call myself the walking paradox, because I love so much, but I can get to a point where I can be like, nah, that ain't happening no more. You out of here. Your contract expired, nigga. So let's keep getting into it.
And me being a walking paradox is strange. You'll never meet somebody who cares so much but really don't give a fuck.
Get that jig on,
They try to silence me, but they can't.
They tried to silence me, but they can't. I'm gonna get into that a little later. They tried to silence me, but they can't. But let's get into it.
Can't silence me, man. Niggas don't wanna rap. I was giving out free feature in my prep.
I went to a lot of open mic shows. Shout out to Carolina Waves. Here I am. I love being from the South. And it's the other ones we went through, but those, like Carolina Waves, that's like the main one. But I was like, niggas don't want to rap. I was giving out free features. I was like, hey, you want free features? I mean, when I was at Atlanta, I was like, yeah, I got free features. And everybody in the crowd was like, oh, what? Nah. So I said, nah, man, you better get your money. You hard. I was like, I appreciate that, man. That's love. That's love. But to the bars, what he say? My presence feel like the Reaper. Bars, they flatline, you know. And then I put the EKG machine, flatline, sound effect in the background. Bars, they flatline, they missing the deadline. You know, flatline, that's the deadline, the double entendre of, you know, them not getting me the verse in time, and also flatline being the deadline. But it's also a deadline because I was talking about Reaper, and like the whole little structure of it is around death. And so is that a triple entendre? It's too deep for me to decipher, and I wrote it.
Presence feel like the Reaper. Bars, they flatline, they missing the deadline.
That's the deadline. I dropped bars they couldn't raise. Like a deadlift? Do you understand? Like, that's a deadline.
I dropped bars they couldn't raise. Like a deadlift.
And the edit on that was sickening.
I'm in form, I transform whenever.
And then I hit him with the I'm in form, I transform whenever I inform. And the I'm in form is, you know, just a play on words of like inform for a perfect deadlift, you know what I'm saying? And I transform whenever I inform, because a lot of times whenever I start talking that talk, I do transform, and I be like, the whole demeanor shift, you know what I'm saying? Because the demeanor different. But we'll get to that bar a little later. You see how they all flow into each other? Whenever I inform, you know.
I inform masses of the masquerading arts.
Masses of the masquerading arts. I try to do a play on like masses, like mask, like masses of the masquerading arts. And you know, masquerades, they keep mask on and like who they are and shit. So, and keep track, masses of the masquerading. So we got 2 M's so far, right?
Meditate and manifest.
I said meditate and manifest to create a magic spark. I'm into my spirituality. I vibrate on a pretty high vibration. I have been spiritually attacked as of late, but As you can hear, I'm sick. But we still going. So what was that? Masses, masquerader, meditate, manifest, magic. And then I did all them.
Magic spark to collect the
To
M's.
collect the M's. Even though money isn't like my main motivator, it was just there, so I had to execute. And then I said, I'm that nice, that I put another M in there. I'm that nice, not drip with the coldest ice. My demeanor different, but I got some chains. I don't have them on right now. Just like nice rope chains. I'm gonna find a picture where I had them on. And where I got it from my papa. Got it from him. And I wear those. I ain't got no cubic chain on or nothing like that. But I don't need all that to stand out because my demeanor different. I'm talking about feelings between the lines. Feelings get out of line when people. Hold on. Slow down, Free.
Nice, not dripping the coldest ice. My demeanor different.
My demeanor different. I'm talking about feelings between the lines. Feelings get out of line when people crossing over lines. And then I double back to rapping about lines like dead line, flat line. I don't know how, because I'm talking between the lines, because I'm that nice. I drip in the coldest ice. My demeanor different. Demeanor, Demeanor. Mean is in between. So I'm talking about feelings between the lines, but feelings get out of line when people crossing over lines. That's another double entendre. Because somebody overstep boundaries, people getting their feelings. When people getting their feelings get out of line when people crossing over lines. Because I'm that mean. Because we still talking about feelings and shit. So, that's like one of my favorite parts of it. Because I'm like, free saucing in the kitchen. You heard me? That's good.
I'm talking about feelings between the lines. Feelings get out of line when people crossing over lines. I'm that mean. Read between the lines and see the unseen. The aura so serene, painting pictures you never seen.
I said read between the lines to see the unseen. The aura so serene, painting pictures you never seen. I mean, then that's pretty self-explanatory. It's like, if you really want to know the truth, you gotta look deep into it, man. Really, just below the surface. You ain't gotta go to deep. Just go below the surface. Because a lot of times we just mindlessly listen to music. I will too. It's a cool beat. I'm just like, but just be aware of what you're listening to, man. Oh, painting pictures you never seen. In the end, me and the team stitched at the seam. Stitches bleed at old wounds they want to poke fun at. So it's like, me and the team stitched at the seams. We in there. Regardless, man, we locked in there. You see that? We locked in there. So and stitches bleed at old wounds that want to poke fun at. That's just like a reference to anybody that you may have shared an insecurity to, or anything like that. And, you might think you healed from some stuff, but it might not even be intentional that they poke fun at. But it can sting a little bit, like yeah, that hurt a little bit. But healing is a process, man, and it don't happen overnight. It's like a real, true process, man. You gotta continuously, work towards that healing, towards that growth. You know what I mean? So let's keep on going.
In the end, me and the team stitch at the seam. Stitches bleed at old wounds they wanna poke fun at. Bright ideas like Edison. When the
then I said, bright ideas like Edison. Thomas Edison, created the light bulb, and a lot of times a bright idea, has a light bulb beside it, because, it's pretty simple to me personally, but I'm gonna tell you why I put that in there. I wanted to do a Thomas Edison bar, and that bar Cole did with Einstein, on the brink of the theory of relativity.
2,000 years later.
I said on the brink of the theory of relativity. Then he said, there is no MC equal or something like that. Cause E equals MC squared. I'm butchering it. If you know, you know, okay?
Light bulb went off, darkest night and brightest days, I'm still gonna prevail.
Darkest nights and brightest days, I'm still gonna prevail. I mean, I just went with the light bulb and went off, so I just made a little correlation between light and darkness, and just saying, no matter what, if the light bulb going off, if it's broke, it's bright day, it's a dark night, I'm still gonna prevail. Like still gonna prevail. Ain't nothing stopping the grind. That's just how I've been feeling lately. Like even the sickness, even other personal drama, like all of that, man. Like,
nigga, who are you to dictate the lessons that I preach? The message when I speak to do better and know better, to see better.
I said, who are you to dictate the message when I speak? Hold on, let me make sure I say that right. Who are you to dictate the lesson that I preach, the message when I speak, to do better, know better, to see better? I've had issues where people have told me that, my music might have been a bit too vulgar, a bit too explicit. But I'm always like, but do you hear the message behind it? Do you hear why I'm so angry in these songs? Now, there are some songs, especially when I was younger, where I just wanted to make music that appealed to people. So there's a few songs, but like majority of my songs, and even when I'm like cursing or something, there's a reason behind it. So, and as of late, I had a situation where with one of my employers, not where they had concerns about my music and how vulgar it was, and I was just like, I don't know what you want me to do about that, cause I'm authentic, baby. I mean, that's just what I'm gonna do. But hey, ever since I got back on my grind, I can feel the forces trying to slow me down and target me. Like, I feel like a targeted individual. But I might do a TikTok about that. All right, moving on.
The message when I speak to do better and know better, to see better. It's okay to make mistakes. Be sure to set it straight and narrow path full of pain and richness.
Like, you gonna make mistakes in life, man. You just set it straight. And I feel like I'm on a narrow path. It ain't too... Well, see, I believe I've chosen this narrow path filled with pain and richness. That's just how I feel, like, partially. Like, I feel like there's plenty of paths, but I don't know. I feel like I'm on a path full of pain and richness, nigga. But that just encapsulated my mood at the point in time, because I was already coming off of some BS. So I was like, all right. It's painful, but it's gonna pay off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's free if you ain't know, man.
It's free if you ain't know.
KareFree with a K.
KareFree with a K.
Whole lot of impact. 1 minute Mondays, just to tease y'all niggas.
But yeah, I mean, if you rocked out through the whole thing, I appreciate it.
Until next time, apply more pressure and remember.
Apply more pressure and remember, I love you. Now let me edit this.